Hi, my name is Colby Sharp. I am a fifth grade teacher in Michigan, and today we're going to be talking about the books that my fifth graders are currently reading. These seem to be, I guess, the videos that a lot of people like the most on my channel, so I try to do them whenever possible. So if this is your first time watching, please consider subscribing because I'm going to try to do one of these videos every 3-ish weeks. Very excited to just kind of look at this collection of what these amazing kids are reading, and kind of teaches me a lot about the class, and it's just exciting to see how much their reading has changed during these first 6 weeks of school. So without further ado, I'm just going to go book by book, say a little bit about each one. I'm very excited. Hilo, The Great Big Boom, one of my personally one of my favorite graphic novel series that's come out lately. I love it. This kid is on book 3. Fun thing that I like to do with Hilo is talk to the kids about how some series we need to read in order, some we don't necessarily need to read in order. This is definitely a series that is, I think, best enjoyed if you read it from the beginning to the end. So excited to see this kid reading Hilo and digging it as much as I have. Next up, an old favorite. I'm so excited. Hound Dog True. One of my all-time favorite middle grade novels by Linda Urban. The book that started the nerdy book club that I do with my friends Donald and Cindy and Catherine. This is just such a special and wonderful book, and it's so cool to see a kid enjoying it and loving it, and it just makes my heart happy. Like so often on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter where I talk books, we're always talking about the latest and the greatest and new. But in a classroom, like, most of the books in here are new to all of these readers. So while Hound Dog True is a decade old, to this reader it's brand new and it's finding a place in their heart, and that makes my heart so happy. Next up, Rescue Dogs. I think I might have a couple kids reading this. This is our Scholastic Book Fair is going on currently, and this is one that's been popular down there at the book fair with the kids. I might even have another kid reading it. Yeah, you'll see this again later. And one kid bought a copy, and then he bought a copy for his friend. And I sat down and read with one of the two kids reading it, and it seemed really good. So yeah, Rescue Dogs. I love dogs, right? Next up, Harry Potter. This kid is making some progress in this big old book. This kid loves Harry Potter, and he has seen all the movies, and I don't know if he's read all of the books, but he's reading book 5 now, so definitely monitoring this friend, just kind of see how it's going. But so far, it's going pretty well, and I'm just gonna have to keep talking keep checking with him and making sure that everything's going according to plan. But excited to see this reader kind of step outside his comfort zone a little bit. Next up is How to Train Your Dad by Gary Paulson. Gary Paulson is the author that helped me fall in love with reading. And I have a kid in my class who is obsessed with Gary Paulson. And when I got this book in the mail, I instantly sent a remind message to his mom saying, "Look at this book. Your son and I have been talking about it for weeks, and it's finally here." And then I came in the next day. He was so excited. I gave it to him, and he started it up, and now he's on page 29. So I'm anxious for him to finish it because, 1, I want to know how he feels about it, but 2, I want to read it, and I promised I'd let him read it first. So I feel like I could just read it during lunch when he's not looking. Anyways, next up, Babysitter's Club. I think this kid is reading this to reread all of the Babysitter's Club because we just got copies of the new one, number 10, in. So going back and reading them from beginning to end, so they're ready for the new one. Next up, A Good Kind of Trouble, another book that was picked up at our Scholastic Book Fair. I love this book, so I was really excited to see this student bring it into our classroom and read it, and I cannot wait to chat with her about it. She's been reading like wild. She's a big Abby Cooper fan. She's got the Abby Cooper bookmark, and she seems to be digging it, so yay. Nothing like a great middle grade novel. Next up, Death and Sparkles. This one's really popular. It's a new graphic novel. This is the advanced copy that I got in the mail, but it's actually come out now. And I actually have 2 copies just sitting right over there that I'm going to add to the classroom library this afternoon. So I'm actually going to retire this copy and add the published copies into our classroom library. And they're all full color, and it's beautiful. So excited about that. Next up is a book that I book talked. I recently book talked Jason Reynolds' Ghost, so I was so excited. I lost the bookmark. I was so excited to see this kid pick it up, and dang, he's already 50 pages in, like less than a day later. So yes, love that he's getting a chance to meet Castle Crenshaw. Makes my heart so happy. The latest, I believe, in the I Survived graphic novel adaptations. This isn't mine, but I'm going to buy a copy before the book fair leaves. And we did a book fair preview. This was the talk of the book fair, the new I Survived graphic novel adaptation of September 11th. Next up, Jared Lerner's Engineer. This book is so fun, so funny. Another book that I recently book talked, and it's fun to see this kid, dang, already on page 105. So it's fun to see when they are taking the books that I'm book talking and reading them and enjoying them, and then eventually sharing them with other kids. Pretty soon we'll be transferring a majority of the book talking from them to them book talking to each other. We've done a little bit of that, but eventually it will be predominantly that. Next up, Rowley Jefferson's Awesome Friendly Adventures. I love Wimpy Kid, but I am obsessed with the Rowley Jefferson books. They're just, I think there's 2 now. Yeah, 3. There's 3, yeah, because they had the spooky, scary one that came out. But yeah, these are super fun. If you have kids that like Wimpy Kid, they will love these. Next up is Abby Cooper's Bubbles, which is a book that has been read by the girl who's actually reading Good Kind of Trouble, and she loved it and was talking about it, and then got another kid to read it. And like, that is when you know the community is rocking and rolling and things are heading in the right direction, when books are going from reader to reader. So yes, I'm doing something right. Bubbles. Next up, another kid working their way through the Hilo series. This one is a little bit behind on book 2, but one of my favorites. Last Kids on Earth. This is making a huge rounds in the classroom. So we've had a bunch of kids so far this year read a couple of these, which is awesome. It's this great series. The new one just came out, so they're all excited about that. Next up, Ranger in Time, Escape from the Great Earthquake. If you haven't met Ranger, oh, whew, thank goodness. I'm losing all these kids' bookmarks. Oh. If you haven't read Ranger, you're missing out. It's this awesome dog who goes back in time and helps with things, helps out with things. So Ranger's got a lot of fun adventures. Kids love that time travel stuff. It's just so fun. Ranger in Time. Next up is one I haven't read, Kandu and Kazumi Visit Giant Island, a very fun looking graphic novel. Let's see if I can, oh, it's an illustrated novel. Beautiful. Super Dogs, Hilo. The dogs right now are taking over the classroom. True stories of real heroes. Oh, that's cool. I read that. Notebook of Doom. A bunch of kids have been reading Notebook of Doom, which is really fun. I think that they've read them maybe in the past, but we have I think we have the whole series. So some of them are picking up on ones that they missed. And I think this kid was like, man, everyone's reading those Notebook of Dooms. I should read the first one, which is fun. Next up, one of the all-time greats, Smile, Raina's book. That's, I think, changed the world of publishing and changed the world of being a young reader. One of the most important books in my lifetime. And it's at a book fair. I wonder how many copies of this have sold at book fairs or Scholastic book club orders. I bet it's a lot. That's exciting. War That Saved My Life, one of my all-time favorite read-alouds. I love that a kid is reading it, and I just want to talk to her all the time about it. But I think that would be really annoying. But I love it so much. Next up, Lindsay Stoddard's Brave Like That. Had a great reading conference with this kid yesterday or the day before, and he is in it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes. So we were at parent-teacher conferences. You weren't. I was at parent-teacher conferences last night, and this kid was talking about this book to his parents, and he's like, and they mentioned the book Ish in the book from Peter Reynolds, and he actually opened it up and read the part where they're learning about Ish in class and reading it, and it was so amazing. It was just such a surreal moment to see the joy on his face and the excitement that in the book he's reading is the teacher in that book is reading the book that we've read, and it was just so cool. I love moments like that. All right, Cat and Cat Adventures, The Quest for Snacks. Book 1, super hilarious graphic novel, is making the rounds. The kids love it. They all read it real quick, but digging it. Another kid reading Rescue Dogs, super popular. I should probably read this. This is the first one, Rescue Dogs. And then finally, another kid reading Notebook of Doom. So these are the books my kids are reading. Holy smokes, I'm so proud of them. I love seeing all these great books being read. I hope your kids are reading great books. Let me know if you made it to the end, thanks. But also let me know down in the comments which books are your kids reading, what's popular, what's got you excited about your class and your community of readers. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Colby Sharp. I hope you have an awesome, tastic day.